The cemetery Mandela effect. Why this word feels wrong now. There are Mandela effects that affect brand names, famous quotes, even anatomy, but some hit deeper. Some feel sacred. That's why the word cemetery might be the one that breaks something open for you. Let's be clear. This isn't just about a typo. This is about a fundamental rupture in our shared linguistic memory, one that calls into question not only what we know, but how we know it. Because for many of us, it was always spelled cemetery, with an ARI ending. And now, that version is gone. The spelling you can't forget. Search it today, and you'll find every dictionary and search engine correcting you. It's spelled cemetery. But thousands, if not millions, remember growing up learning, seeing, and using the spelling cemetery. As kids, we saw it carved into Halloween props, written on tombstone toys, printed on decorations, horror-themed products, even in school writing prompts. The airy form felt right. It sounded right. It looked right. But now it's all wrong. Or so we're told. And here's where things get even more unsettling. There's no official evidence it was ever spelled that way. No dictionary, no archive, no school textbook. The correct spelling has always been cemetery, according to the current version of reality. Which brings us to the Mandela effect. A sacred word, or a glitched one? Why does this particular word strike such a nerve? Because it's sacred. Death, burial, remembrance. These are not trivial matters. If reality has shifted even something as grave and ancient as the term for our burial grounds, what else has been overwritten? Spelling Mandela effects are some of the most unnerving because they seem so small, but they destabilize your foundation. You think, if I can't trust something that basic, what else have I misremembered? The pet cemetery loophole, or is it a breadcrumb? Now here's where it gets wild. One of the only places where the old spelling still shows up is in the title of a horror film, Pet Sematary. That's right, SEMATARY. Many chalk it up to intentional misspelling by author Stephen King. When MEs are rolled out, it gets the obvious, but it misses the finer details in the beginning. Like when it erased Russell Simmons never wearing a headband in his fitness videos. It forgot to clear it from the Halloween costumes based on him. Here is an example of it missing the finer details. In the months to come, it will catch this. Write down to check in 3 months how this movie title is spelled. This is critical, because if the Mandela effect is a real, imposed, system-wide overwrite, glitchy or deliberate, then it won't always catch the edges right away. Pop culture references, movie titles, old costumes, parodies, they may still contain echoes of the original timeline. That would make Pet Sematary a residue artifact. Not an intentional artistic choice, but a remnant of the true spelling we once lived with. That movie might be the glitch in the glitch, the proof the system missed a spot. Why airy matters. Let's look at the root of the suffix. Words like monastery, seminary, commentary, sanctuary, and even library all use ARI endings to describe places tied to thought, spirit, or death. Cemetery being grouped with them makes perfect sense, and yet now it ends with eerie, putting it more in line with arbitrary, confectionery, or trickery. Is that just a coincidence? Or is something more sophisticated at play? Something that doesn't just change spelling, but symbolism, memory, or manipulation? This is where the Mandela effect stops being funny internet trivia and becomes a serious question of epistemology. How we know what we know. If cemetery was always wrong, why do so many of us remember it with such certainty? This isn't a typo we made once and carried forward. This is a memory that spans decades, across geographies, demographics, and age groups. And now it's been erased. What could be causing this? Some believe it's psychological, that our brains collectively filled in a phonetic gap and made a shared mistake. But that theory becomes harder to hold when every cultural cue, from horror movies to costumes, supports the wrong version. Others point to more complex possibilities: AI-fueled timeline overwrites, quantum interference from experiments at CERN, or algorithmic history correction via digital platforms like Google, Wikipedia, and language databases. Once reality is digitized, it can be rewritten. And once it's rewritten, your memory is all that's left. But what happens when even your memory is gaslit? Maybe this video isn't about correcting a word. Maybe it's about reclaiming a piece of you. Because cemetery wasn't just a spelling. It was a shared thread of experience that's now been cut. So no, you're not crazy for remembering it differently. You're just paying attention. And maybe, just maybe, that's the first step in noticing how much else has changed around you. If you remember cemetery, say it, comment it, post it. This is about more than a word. It's about protecting the original reference points of our reality before they disappear forever. And don't forget to check Pet Sematary again in 3 months. Let's see what version of reality we're living in by then. Hi, I'm Adeline Atlas, 11x published author, and what you just watched was only a taste of what's inside the Truth series, where we go all the way down the rabbit hole. If you're the kind of person who's always asking bigger questions, who knows there's more to this world than what we've been told, then this is your invitation to the series that was built for you. Inside the Truth series, you'll get full access to 6 mind-blowing sub-series designed to wake up your highest intelligence and decode the matrix we live in. 1. Locate the truth. Learn how to actually research, not just what to search, but how to verify, cross-reference, read declassified files, and protect your own mind from weaponized misinformation. This is truth-seeking, decoded. 2. The Mandela effect. Are we shifting timelines? Why do so many people remember a different past? We break down the most bizarre, undeniable examples of reality glitches and what they tell us about consciousness and control. 3. Law is magic. Law is not what you think it is. From word spells to maritime law and hidden contracts, we uncover how legal systems use language like a wand, and how to stop being tricked by fine print that binds you without consent. 4. Entertainment or ritual. The Hollywood and music industries are not just for entertainment. From Super Bowl rituals to Grammy stage symbolism, we decode what's really being shown, who it serves, and why mass consciousness is the target. 5. Decoding dystopia. Ever wondered why dystopian fiction feels prophetic? In this subseries, we decode popular films and books, Hunger Games, 1984, Black Mirror, to reveal the hidden blueprints and predictive programming behind the plot. 6. MK Ultra plus mind control programs. This one gets deep. From real MK Ultra documents to modern symbolism in media, we expose how mind control operates in plain sight and how to free yourself from manipulation you didn't even know was happening. And that's just the beginning. If this resonated with you, click the links below and join us inside the Full Truth series, because the more you know, the harder you are to control. This is your awakening. We don't just ask questions, we find answers. Let's go all the way down the rabbit hole together.